for Earth Day, try something different in the kitchen if you haven't already. Cook organic. Here with some helpful tips is Chef Jessie Damuck of FoodEqualsLoveNYC.com. I agree. Food equals love. Love to eat, love to share food with people. So what are we doing today?
Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you can find in the farmer's market. It's easier than ever to shop for local produce in New York City and the surrounding areas. And you don't have to go out of your way for it. Just look in your supermarket that you're going to. There's signs and we'll show you that there's local produce, organic produce. You can go to your farmer's market. There's 53 green markets in New York City.
And a lot of this, I mean, what I love about it is you see weird things like this that you don't necessarily see in your local grocery store. If you take a look at that, this is called a
ramp.
A ramp.
Which is a wild, it's a wild leek, but it has a very oniony, garlicky flavor. It has a real bite to it. Like Ty said, it's one of those ingredients you're probably just going to find in the green market. And that's why you should make sure that you make a trip there.
Okay, and has this been around forever, or is this new? Because really, I'm not very familiar with this at all.
Well, they have been around. There's something you can actually find in the wild. Chefs have known about them for years. But recently, different magazines and publications has made it something that the general public is interested in.
Okay, and we should point out when you go to the green market, not everything is organic. You should, if you're interested in eating organic, you should ask, right?
Absolutely, and that's another thing that's great about going to the green market. You can really establish a relationship with your farmer. Ask these questions. If you see something like ramps and you don't know how to use them, talk to your farmer. He knows.
It can be a little embarrassing. What's this? You know, but let's just go through this recipe. It's a pesto, which is
it's a ramp pesto. And the thing about ramps, another reason why maybe a lot of people haven't heard of them, they're only in season for about 2 or 3 weeks. So you really have to jump on these. And if you buy a lot, you might not use them all at once. So this recipe is a great way that you can save it for later in the year. So this is a pesto. Instead of basil, you're going to be using your ramps. Just clean them, chop them up, throw them into your food processor. I have some spinach that I also got in the farmer's market. And I use walnuts instead of pine nuts, cheese, olive oil. You'll just blend that all together, and you have this delicious garlicky pesto.
And I see a little lemon brings out the garlicky flavor,
Absolutely.
Right?
And I mixed this with some asparagus. So let's go over here. Let me show you what I did with that.
But you know, before we leave our little baby ramps here, what part do you cut to the white? Is it like a leek? You just do the white, or do you do all the way up to the reddish part?
Or like a scallion. You're going to chop the roots off here. Just make sure it's really clean. There's sort of a skin here. You can peel down. And for this pesto, you can enjoy the whole thing.
Oh, you can even the leaves?
Absolutely.
Oh,
just
fantastic.
chop it up.
Well, I like to use the whole thing. That's great. And these are cool asparagus strips, is that what you do?
Yeah, it's shaved asparagus. Now, asparagus is another thing that's in season right now. There's tons of it at the local markets. It's one of my favorites, and there's so many things you can do with it. You can roast it, you know, saute it, anything. I love this way because you're really using everything. It's quick, it's easy, and you don't have to cook it very long. So
yeah, because normally they tell you to kind of snap the asparagus to where it's tender, and you kind of throw out the rest of it, or maybe use it for a stock. But you strip the whole thing?
Well, you're still going to test for the same things. When you're at your market, what you want to look for in asparagus. Now the width, that's really just a matter of taste or what you're using it for. For this purpose, the thick asparagus that sometimes we think of as woody, it's fine for this. You'll take this end here, break that end off because that doesn't taste very good. And then you want to look for stalks that the blossoms are very close together. If they're too flowery, that means it's probably not going to be
They've been around the block a while.
Yeah, and shaving it is so simple. You're just going to take your vegetable peeler and go right down. That's all it takes. So quick. And what's great about putting this in a pasta dish, what you'll do is you'll have your spaghetti going in the pot, and just before you're about to drain it, you'll add this and then dump the whole thing.
About a minute maybe, or even less?
Less than that.
Literally
right before you put it in. If you feel it, it's super thin and very tender.
Great, so it'll be a little bit crunchy, a little texture. Is that how it comes out?
Absolutely. And another trick for that dish is when you're mixing your pesto sauce in, if you hold on to a little bit of the pasta water, it's really starchy water. It will thicken up the sauce a little bit, really get it to stick to the pasta. So
Okay.
it's a nice thick sauce over there.
Well, there you go. We've reduced, reused, we even recycled the pasta water. Thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us. This looks absolutely delicious.
Thank you for having me.
To learn more about all of today's topics, log on to myfoxny.com, click on Public Affairs. You can also like us on Facebook, and please follow us on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ty Hernandez. We're going to see you next time for more Street Talk.